Revelation 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Kol halalina abanawa Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and a huge shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3. May peace and blessings be upon you and your households, and the spirit of endurance as we approach the end. Okay. I was on this website called Hacker News. Right, I've made a video the other day on biohacking, how implants are becoming a trend. Now, some of these news segments, these articles are from 2017, 2018. Okay, which goes to show that we are approaching that time, because this is damn near almost a decade ago. Well, in 2026, it'll be 9 years ago, right? 2017. Now, since then, a lot of companies are adopting this, and people have started the ball rolling. And this is going to spread across most organizations, especially those that want to keep their job as well and their organization going. And the powers that be, okay, the so-called elites, the Edomites, Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called Illuminati, if you want to call them that, okay, they will want this to be on a grand scale, okay, across the earth, all right, their way of keeping track of everybody. Now, they're going to give you certain things, they're going to give you options at the moment, because you assume, the rest of these dumbasses in this world assume that there's going to be a choice between using your Apple Pay, you can, use only certain parts of your digital wallet, which don't, intrude in your life so much. That's what they think, maybe just for your driving license and your passport, okay. But they're gonna push the whole, they're gonna push the whole. I don't want to say the whole hog. I don't. They're gonna push the whole envelope. Let's just say that, right? Where they want everything encompassed within that digital wallet. And then what Esau will do is, every time they give you something, they're going to take certain freedoms away at the same time. And then as you get used to the digital wallet, if you have the chance to use it that long, then they're going to do something or cause a problem, and then a reaction, and then a solution. Okay. And then they're going to have news segments playing of companies and of people and of videos, like they already have, of people entering their homes, chipping their dogs, chipping their children so they don't get kidnapped, chipping their elders so they don't get lost if they've got dementia, chipping their disabled children, or the disabled loved ones, that can't walk and talk, they can't think for themselves. So then because then, like as the scriptures would say, angel become, so like Satan becomes like an angel of light for these people, because that's like their light at the end of the tunnel, right? And also during the C19, Sweden was pretty much one of the only countries that I know of. I'm sure there's more, but that was like at the forefront of not being on a lockdown. Okay, it's because Sweden is already pretty much leading the way of going cashless. All right, and that envelope is being pushed everywhere. Okay, cashless, keeping track of people. People aren't liking it. People are bucking up, saying, "No, no, it's too intrusive. We don't want this. We don't want the digital wallet." They're making a noise about, or big hoopla about the digital wallet. How much more when this implant? But when push comes to shove, when people get pushed into corner, there's no other avenue of walking down and getting food and water and housing and things of that nature, people will take the implant. Okay, but the elect, okay, are going to be covered. Okay, with the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, they're going to be covered with the Lord's wings, right? And they're not going to be touched. Okay, because the elect are going through getting their licks right now. That's why Satan is turning up the temperature as we approach 2026. And I know a lot of you hopeful elect Jakes are feeling the heat, okay, a little bit more than before. You're getting a little bit more aggravated. Remember, as Elder Apostle Rakayala would say, keep your medicine strong, stay prayed up. What was the verse of the day? I had a verse of the day. Oh, yeah, and this is the verse of the day. All right, Psalms 17 and 8, and it's spiritual as well. I think I got this out last night or this morning, early hours. But let's just focus on, but spiritual anyway. Psalms 17 and 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Okay? And the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Shai, is going to hide the elect under the shadow of his wings, man. We're going to be covered. All right? Because the elect have been covered from the foundation of the earth anyway. Okay? Just like the underdog. Okay, the elect, the hopeful elect have gone through their hell, and they're going to start shining very soon. You're going to notice. All right? And I know a lot of you hopeful elect can feel that things are going to really amplify and great things are going to start happening. All right? It's not going to be like static water. It's going to be that flowing river very soon. All right? So I'm going to play this video. Okay? Yeah, it's just some random channel with only, random channel. But anyway, I'll still say it. Copyright, fair use. But in the UK, it'd be fair deal. So copyright, fair use. All right? Not making no money out of this whatsoever. Just going along with what's already being stated here. All right? Which is alluding to Revelation 13:16. So I'm going to play. Here we go. Let's go. Excuse me. Let me read along with you. So it's gone slightly a little bit hazy there. Right. These are a few news clips about microchip implant technology, aka the mark of the BEAST. I do not promote this technology. The globalist, elite, and secret societies are trying their hardest to promote this technology so they can rule the world, which they're doing anyway because this is their world. This is Esau's world. Second Ezra's Salakia. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Job 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is Esau Edom's world right now. Which is he's losing the grip, but nonetheless, this is their world at the moment. All right, but not for long. All right. So I do not promote this technology. The globalist, elite, and secret societies are trying their hardest to promote their technology so they can rule the world and control everyone's life. Their plan is to have this Their plan is to have this be mandatory for the public in the future. I remember this video is from about 9 years ago. Nobody will be able to purchase anything or do just about anything unless they receive a microchip implant. This is not fiction. This is real technology, and it's extremely toxic for our freedom. Just think of what can be done with this kind of technology. Not only could you track someone's location, but you could potentially put a lethal dose of poison in it that can be activated remotely at any time. Okay, if you piss off the powers that be, read someone's thoughts or control their thoughts and actions directly, which is true. Turn off their chip permanently if they protest the government. You won't have access to funds either. It will start. It will start in the workplace, in corporate centers, where it will be used to replace. Oh yeah, used to replace key cards and purchase items from vending machines. Yeah, it's really, really, really sort of like faded. Okay, I can just about see it, but I can make it legible. So it will start in the workplace because workplace is a key place, right? You earn your daily bread from there. It's what sustains you. Okay, because as a young man, before you knew about the truth, when you first got a job, when you start earning a few quid, everything comes together, right? As a young man, when you start working, you start earning money. You can take a lady out. You can get yourself a car. You can pay bills. Blah blah blah. Right? You become a man. So for most people, you know, a job would be like an extension of their manhood, right? So it's going to start in the workplace, which is a very, your daily bread. Okay, you don't work, you don't eat. So this is going to be hitting people in significant places. Excuse me, I'm clearing my throat. Excuse me. Okay. As years go by and a higher percentage of the population receive microchips, they will make it mandatory and do away with cash. So therefore, you can't live in society without the microchip. Yeah, that's why they're getting rid of what um, uh, the large denomination of notes. Then they just recently say they stopped making the nickel in America. Here in the UK, they got rid of the 1 cent, no, the 1 pence piece. We used to have half pennies. We used to have we used to have pound notes. Then they went to pound coins. Okay, haven't seen a £50 note in ages. You go to the cash machine, only £10 notes come out, and £20 notes. Okay, and £5 notes. The large denomination of notes don't come out anymore. All right. So they're doing away with cash. Okay, you get, you call to pay up your electricity bill or whatever, or you pay online, and you ask them, to do a favor, say for your elderly relatives or whatever. Say, listen, they're older, they're not really too tech savvy. Can you please send the bills in the post, paper, right? And they keep saying that we're going paperless. The terms being used by a lot of companies is cashless and paperless. And what do we call? What does Jake call cash? Paper. In the UK especially, I want my peas. I want to get my peas, yo. I want to get my peas, which is paper. Jake in the UK, Benjamin and Judah, and Northern Kingdom and that, Israelite foreigners. I want my paper. So it's coming like that. And remember this video is from 2017. And we're approaching 2026, which will make it 9 years. All right, so we're coming to that time. Let me just fast forward a little bit. They will make it seem completely harmless and small. They will make it seem completely harmless and inviting until they have everyone locked in to this new system. They will strike. Yeah, locked into this new system, then they will strike. think of potentially having a. What the hell is? I think maybe it's YouTube police probably made this all fady. Think of them potentially having a shocking capability like how we make shock. I can't even read the rest now. Let's see if I can read the rest. Shocking capability. Those promoting so. All right, I can't even read that now. Now it's clear. Finally. Now, think of this potentially having a shocking capability like how we make a shock collar for dogs. Yeah. Like in that movie with what's that movie, man, with Will Smith? Um, and oh, damn, like that movie with Will Smith and the Edomite woman who plays a crazy lady with the Joker. She becomes his woman or whatever, and he gives her electricity shocks or whatever. And Will Smith is the guy who can shoot really, you know, point blank or whatever, really hit targets. Then they've got Ishakar in there that has a power of throwing fire out of his hands. I forgot the movie's damn name, man. But anyway, in that movie, the end up has like collars around their necks. So if they try and do anything, they try and buck up, right? She can press a button and delete him. Okay, so this CHIP is gonna have all these things in there. Think of this potentially having a shocking capability, like we, like how we make shock collars for dogs. Those promoting it say you can just push it right out if you don't like it. No, because it's going to be a grievous sore. Paraphrasing the scripture, it's going to be a grievous sore when you take the chip. Okay, it's going to give you cancer because you're putting a foreign object which is not supposed to be there. All right, okay. It's gonna because when you put it inside your flesh, especially in your hand and stuff like that, or your forehead, it's gonna sort of like all your nerves and I'm not a physician. All your nerves and all your nerve endings and all the other little human wiring that we have is gonna the human wiring in the system is gonna like wrap itself around that foreign object. You're gonna get a grievous sore. So you won't be able to just take it just to eat food and say, "Oh, before the Lord returns, I'm going to push it out." Nah, you can't push it out like you're taking a shit. All right, you can't do that. Those promoting it say you can just push it out if you don't like it, but that would, if you don't like it, but that definitely would not be the case. If it's there for more than a few months, it would need to be surgically removed. Indeed. They are also developing brain chips which could allow them to control your mind directly. Remember, this is from 2017, and we've had that surface. All right, Elon Musk has been successful in America, and I believe it was September or October. I made a video also where he's been successful here in the UK, and our elders and apostles and prophets have made videos and made a great millstone, which they're churning out videos left, right, and center. Okay, so we're coming into that time. Only an evil mind could have invented something like this. Don't receive the microchip and become a guinea pig and a mind slave. Wake up. The New World Order, globalization is real.
Tasks. Some workers everyday tasks. Microchips implanted in human bodies could transform the way we tackle many everyday tasks. Some workers in Sweden are already developing and volunteering.
And during COVID-19, Sweden was not on lockdown. But every part of the world where they're not cashless or they're not C-hipped or have the chip, right, on a large scale, was on lockdown. Why do you think that is? Okay, because they want everybody to follow Sweden's formula. Okay, obviously when Esau or the powers that be, they want to push it to more of a. They want to take it a step further. They really want to have you under control. They don't want you just be C-hipped and just be in your regular job earning, you know, major money and living nicely. They want you to be on, be basically under complete control. They don't want you to have control of your faculties, meaning like your happiness, so you can enjoy your family. They want you to be like a damn near a zombie. Okay, but even if you take it, whether you're living life so-called lovely in this side, you're effed. The heathens are going to take it, but you 2/3 that take it, right, are gonna, and you unelect Jakes, the Lord going to deal with you. Okay, but Esau really wants to, if you watch some of these end time movies where people are sea-hipped, okay, or have the so-called mark of the beast, okay, It's not a very bright future. Okay, they got you all in uniforms and in these workhouses, and everyone's either wearing blue or white, or everything's color coded. There's not going to be no Louis Vuitton and jackets and what's it, Balenciaga and all that shit. No more Jordans to match your fitted hats. Ain't gonna be none of that shit. Okay, but the elect are not going to take it.
Volunteering rather to have chips injected into their hands. The technology can make some tasks easier and reduce the amount of personal items employees need to carry. John Blackstone looks at the controversial trend and how it could put your privacy at risk.
In a Stockholm business complex, employees gain access not with key cards, but with a wave of a hand.
This is something that you can use just like a key badge.
At a recent tech conference, Hannes Sjoblad explained how a microchip implanted in his hand makes his life easier. It replaces all the keys and cards that used to clutter his pockets.
I use this many times a day. For example,
yeah, that's why like movies like Back to the Future, cartoons like The Jetsons, which was set in the future, you got to look at things very closely. This was brought out by the men of the Lord, men of Great Millstone. I believe is one of the prophets. I don't recollect the name. They mentioned that if you watch the Jetsons, they don't have pockets on their clothes. And also, if you watch Back to the Future too, when Marty McFly comes with that Doc Brown in the future, what does Doc Brown say to him? In the future, children or people wear their pants pockets inside out. Why? Because there's no need to put anything in them. Okay. And then another brother, as a GMS Kawalia, made a video, and it's analyzing the Back to the Future 1 and 2 is Esau written on the outside of the high school. Okay, they know who they are. These devils know who they are. And then that song, is it by Huey Lewis and the News or Muse or whatever? Right? That song at the beginning. Don't need no money, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Okay? Okay, how are you going to ride a train without no money and all that? Okay, because they're alluding to the CHIP. I don't know the words of the song, but analyze the words. All right, and it's just amazing. These damn devils, man, put it in every intricate part of society. All these things that they want to do, but people think it's a joke. It's just a song, okay? But they're putting that vibration out there. And then Back to the Future 1 and 2, when was that made? 1984, 85? Between 85 and 87, I believe. Damn near 40 years ago. This guy already looks like a zombie, this Edomite.
Example, to unlock my smartphone, to open the door to my office.
Sjoblad calls himself a biohacker.
We biohackers, we think that the human body is a good start, but there is certainly room for improvement.
The first step in that improvement is getting a microchip about.
Only a devil would say that. Only the so-called white man's mindset is like that. They're trying to improve on the Most High Yahweh Shemeshai's creation. Okay? Did the Lord say that we are wonderfully made? Paraphrasing the scripture. Okay? This damn devil, he said he wants to improve on that. This guy thinks he's God. That's these damn devils, man. They think that they're man. It's some pieces of work, boy.
About the size of a grain of rice slipped under the skin. Suddenly, the touch of a hand is enough to tell the office printer, this is an authorized user.
It felt pretty scary, but at the same time, it felt very modern.
The microchips are radio frequency identification tags, the same technology widely used in things like key cards. The chips have been implanted in animals for years to help identify lost pets. Now, the technology is moving to humans. A tech startup called Dangerous Things has sold tens of thousands of implant kits for humans.
Indeed, dangerous things they are. Okay? Even the damn company should let you know dangerous things. They've got the pyramid as well. Look, you got to look at these symbols, man. Every little thing. Look at that. You got the all-seeing eye at the bottom here. Everything. This is Satan's kingdom, man. That's why the Lord's going to destroy Esau's kingdom, man.
Some to tech companies in Europe. Sjoblad even organizes implant parties where people can bond over getting chipped together.
I love gadgets, and now I kind of feel like I'm a gadget myself.
Even a car door can be tweaked to open with a touch, but each touch leaves a digital footprint, and that can compromise privacy. Mm-hmm. It also seems to be one thing if retailers can track me on my phone to see if they can get me to buy some socks or underwear. It's a different thing if my employer can see where I am, see what I'm doing when I'm off the job.
This is serious stuff. We're talking about a nonstop potential connection to my body. I can't turn it off. I can't put it away. It's in me. That's a big problem.
Even a dedicated biohacker has concerns.
It's very easy to hack a chip implant. So my advice is don't put your life secrets on a chip implant.
Somebody put an implant inside me. I found it this morning.
Back in 2004, the Manchurian Candidate suggested a future where humans are chipped and controlled. We have been warned.
It's about educating the people and giving every person the tools, not only how to use the technology, but more importantly, when it's being used against you.
But biohackers also predict the next generation of chips will save lives by monitoring health and fitness. For now, being chipped means never having to say you're sorry you forgot your key card. For CBS This Morning, John Blackstone, San Francisco.
You know, a lot of people that will, and that's why Esau is making your mind all foggy as well. They're putting all this bullshit in the air and in the foods, and you're wondering why you're getting mind fog, you know. And I was shopping yesterday. I was, grabbing a few bits and bobs, and this random person came to the store to me yesterday. He was a Jake, an Israelite foreigner. He was speaking his native tongue or whatever, so-called native tongue. And he said to me that he's feeling tired all the time. What would you recommend? He's basically like a new in the country. He's only been a couple of years, so he's not too. He's in this country and he's breathing the air over here and he's feeling tired. And he's a young man, probably early to mid 20s. He said to me, "Okay, what can I have that will give me energy because I feel tired all the time?" Right? What do you recommend? Because he works in construction. He does physical work. I said, "Listen, man, all I can say is he doesn't know too much about Western brands and all that kind of stuff because the coffee they probably drink over there is probably like freshly grounded." I said, just I mentioned a British brand, okay, and I said, just try this, man. Some strong coffee in the morning, black, put like 2 teaspoons in it, just drink that. Drink some water first, a couple of several glasses, about a liter, and then have black coffee. That'll clear you out and wake you up. And Esau's putting this bullshit in the air where you feel tired all the time and you get mind fog. So, this is gonna, help. People are gonna actually, these demonic vibrations out there and Satan's crew, are gonna push people's mindset in saying, you know what, let's get, to have the implant so they don't forget their keys, don't forget their bank card, don't forget, anything. So everything's in just a touch away. It's in them. All right, every part of their world. Okay, they can walk around without knowing that. Okay, I haven't left anything behind. I haven't left my mobile phone behind. I haven't left my keys behind. Oh shit, I have to go back. I have to drive back. Oh, I accidentally left my bank card on the side of the counter when I was at the checkout. Shit like that. People that are forgetful. Even their family members say, "Oh, mom, dad, you should get that chip because you forget things all the time." These conversations will be happening in households. All right, so there's all different areas they can tackle. Okay, children being kidnapped, pets being lost, old people. Okay, people that are forgetful. Okay, people that are tech heads that like this shit. People that are into the Comic Con thing where they want to be like Iron Man or Batman. Because that's Esau's not going to get spiritual power. So Iron Man and Batman is as far as they're going to go. So this chip, alludes to people having some kind of superpower as well. All right. And also people that want to eat. Okay. People that want to have a future. People want to see their grandchildren and children grow. So this is when push comes to shove. And remember, this video is from 9 years ago. All right. 2017, 2026 makes it 9 years ago. All right. As we're approaching 2026 in about a month, just over a month. All right. So we're heading in that direction. Elon Musk has been successful with his brain implants, the CHIP. Okay. Okay, the digital wallet is being pushed simultaneously. So they're ready, man, and they're going to get going. All right. More than likely 2026, but the rest is up to the Lord, right? We can only hope this thing picks up quicker.
I'm fascinated by this. I've always thought it was the future, that it would carry your medical records.
And all these motherfuckers on here, all these the reporters and all that, they're all just failed actors. They probably go to some dungeon every evening and drink blood and shit. You know what I mean? You can tell by looking at these motherfuckers, they ain't right. They're all part of that. Those mask wearing parties, they're all part of it. All right, to be part of this world and successful, they're all part of it, man. They probably have turd sandwiches as well. And you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't need to elaborate.
That it could track your fitness, that you
Failed
could buy your
actors.
groceries with it. Right, like an Apple Pay or something.
I'm all in.
Yeah. I'm skeptical. I'm scared of becoming like an Apple Pay or something.
I'm all in.
Yeah. Your groceries with it. Right, like an track.
It's a fake conversation. You can just recognize, isn't it? No wonder they're failed actors. You can buy your groceries with it. You know? Almost like an Apple Pay. Then you got the old cracker on the left-hand side saying, "Oh, I'm all in." Well, go ahead, devil. It's your world for the short duration you have it. For those few seconds that are left.
Fitness, that you could buy your groceries with it. Right, like
people that have heart palpitations and heart problems because they took the 1-9 wacky tacky jab, right? All right, I know people that have actually got heart palpitations. They have like panic attacks and shit, and that's after they took the juice. And this said they can monitor your heart and your health. So this is going to also there's another angle there. They can push the CHIP when the time comes, which we are quickly approaching. Remember, this video is from 8 years ago. We're approaching 9 years, so we're coming to that time.
an Apple Pay or something.
I'm all in.
Yeah. I'm skeptical. I'm scared of becoming a cyborg, but if you guys go first, I'll join you.
Pitched a little bit.
Yeah, she said, if you go first, I'll join you. Well, someone's going to start the ball rolling, right? Okay. So this trend is going to grow.
Not bad at all, though.
It takes just a few seconds, and Tony Danner is standing at a new frontier in technology.
It feels pretty amazing. It's excited about where we can take this technology.
The chip in his hand allows him to start his car, open doors, log onto his computer, and buy snacks in the break room at Wisconsin-based threescore Market, all with just a swipe of his hand.
You scan it at the kiosk. It comes up on the kiosk. And then to finalize your payment, you'll put your RFID chip.
The company specializes in payment systems for workplace snack bars. But having fielded inquiries from central banks and embassies to create security systems, it's quickly realizing the applications are limitless.
If you come back in a month, you'll be able to go to my house, and basically when I scan my hand at my door, the lights will turn on that I want to come on, and AC/DC will start up with Hell's Bells.
Yeah, so like why did you go there? The song AC/DC by Hell's Bells. Well, this is hell anyway, but why that song? Why would you have to put that? Why would you have to say that on camera? East was giving you like an indication. They want to create literally hell on earth well, it was already hell on earth, but they want to take it a step further.
Microchip implants have been around for some time. Jason Bourne's journey to discover his identity 15 years ago began after this chip was dug out of his back. But not everyone is knocked out by this Swedish technology.
So my concern just is with the health effect. What's going to happen to my body when I'm putting this foreign object into my hand and down the road?
And the company recognizes there are privacy concerns. For example, potentially tracking employees when they take breaks. These particular encrypted models can't track you, though they ultimately could.
There's just as much.
Look at that. Fork-tongued devil, right? These things can't track you, but they ultimately could. They can't track you, but they ultimately could. They can't track you, but they ultimately could. So basically, they can. They can track you. Man, these fork-tongued devils, man, they can never, ever, they can never say yay or nay. What does the scripture say? Okay, let your yay be yay, nay be nay. But these damn devils, paraphrasing the scripture there. Now, let's see what this motherfucker says again.
For example, potentially tracking employees when they take breaks. These particular encrypted models can't track you, though they ultimately could. These particular encrypted models can't track you, though they ultimately could. These particular encrypted models can't track you, though they ultimately could. These particular encrypted models can't track you, though they ultimately could.
Fork-tongued devil, man.
There's just as much interest from parents with young kids that want to be able to implant their children with a GPS chip. And it might shock.
GPS tracking. because they're worried about their children being kidnapped. See? All the angles. They can do scare tactics, scare you. They might even have a whole bunch of news coming on TV or on social media places, you know. Oh, Tommy, you know, these children are missing. And they'll put some cute children on the screen. They'll scare the hell out of every cracker that lives in Mayberry in the nice areas or whatever, right? And Jake's going to get scared. Oh, shit. You know, our children are going missing. Our women are going missing. Man, I want to get my whole family, see hit, you know. So, people, there's another angle there. They're going to push this see hit.
Shock some of you to know how many people have contacted us regarding that. Shock some of you to know how much with the GPS chip. Kids that want to
Could.
There's just as much interest from parents with young kids that want to be able to implant their children. Much interest from parents with young kids that want to be able to implant their children. Much interest from parents with young kids that want to be able to implant their children with the GPS chip. And it might shock some of you to know how many people have contacted us regarding that.
50 out of the company's 85 employees have signed up as it begins to expand the commercial possibilities. Now, if like me, you're wondering how much pain is involved in this whole process, well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, Andy? That's quite sharp. It's burning a little bit, but I've never had my ear pierced, but I have given blood plenty of times, and it's about the same feeling as when a needle goes into your arm to give blood. These chips are around $300. So while I feel like I've increased my self-worth a little bit, I really have to decide now if I want to be part of this brave new world. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Wisconsin.
Last year, Wisconsin-based company threescore Market announced its plans to install rice-sized microchips in its employees. The implants can be used to scan into the office building, to purchase food at work, and to log into the computers there.
CEO Todd Westby is back with us to talk about how the program is going so far. So, Todd, what's it been like? How many of your employees at this point have chosen to have the chip implanted, and how many do you have to go?
Yes, to date, we have 196 employees, and 92 of them are chipped to this day.
And what's it been like in terms of their experience? Has anybody said, I want this thing out of me, or when they leave, do they have to get it out?
We've had one employee that's left that had it removed. However, the vast majority of our employees absolutely love the conveniences that having this chip.
They had it removed? And how long did they have it in there? That's what they're saying, though. That they're going to put that in there that, oh, yeah, you had it removed. Okay? Somebody had it surgically removed. That's if they can be removed. Okay? Now, they're going to say that. So people are going to think, oh, if I don't like it, I can have it removed out of my body. So that's going to be another angle they're trying to push, that it's an option. So if you have it in your system, you can have it removed. All right? Which is more than likely no, because it's going to wrap your nerve endings and your like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a physician. All your intricate parts of your internal systems will be wrapping around that C-hip. You'll get that grievous sore. It'll become like part of you. All right.
Chip in their hand really brings to them. The conveniences that having this chip in their hand really.
They're going to push that convenience, safety, living a seamless life, protecting children, and also 96 of their couple hundred, which is basically 100 something, and 96 of the employees are already C-hip, so that's more than 50%. What about the latter when that time is coming now? If they want to keep their job, I'm sure they all C-hip now.
Brings to them.
I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, Todd, but why not a badge? Why do you have to implant a piece of equipment into people?
If it can be lost, it will be lost. And the very first day that I had this done, I actually had a late night interview, and I forgot my ID card. And I thought, I got a chip in my hand. And when I showed up at work, I scanned my hand, and I was let in the front door. So it's really a huge convenience factor that the employee.
And I've heard, see how many times I've heard mentioned the word convenience.
Seem to like with it.
It's very small. I've got a grain of rice in my hand, which I'm told approximates the size of these chips. So I kind of get that. But, we all carry around our phones these days. We don't really lose those too often. Why not just have people use their phone for this kind of thing?
Because people are going to ask these questions in their mind. Why don't they, have a badge, have a key fob, that can be, on a key ring, on the side of your waist or wherever, or in your pocket. Why not have that? A badge or this, why a C-hip? Okay? People will be asking these questions and they're just answering everybody's questions that are floating around in their mind. So they can push you more towards it.
This is much more convenient. You can do a lot more.
Now, how many times have you heard the word convenient again? There you go.
Or really with this than you can your phone, as far as I can log into my computer with this, which I do every day. I can log into my phone with it. I can pay for items if I forgot my credit card or my phone. I can log into work. This is the actual size of the chip. I don't know if you can see that, but it is the size of a grain of rice, literally.
Yeah, I actually went with the actual grain of rice here, but
we're going to shove it into David's wrist.
Looks roughly the same. I just wonder. You haven't gotten any pushback at all on this, Todd. At this point, I mean, people are happy to have this. Are they afraid you're tracking them beyond work?
No, we have had, some normal pushback, which comes with anything you do. However, what we've really done with this, I think, is you see a lot of discussion now about implants and how they can, take your heartbeat, get your blood glucose levels. Yeah. You see,
people with, asthma, diabetes, that could fall asleep at the wheel, if your blood sugar level is low. So this is another angle here, they can push the health angle, cause less car accidents and shit. People that have sleep apnea or whatever, whatever angle they're going to use.
Amazon just hiring get your blood glucose levels. You see Amazon just hiring a top-notch doctor. You see Walmart filing for patents on this. What we've really done is sort of made it acceptable or brought it in the forefront where people are now talking about.
Amazon, Walmart, martial law, Amazon, right? Jeff Bezos, they're all part of that lower level echelon of devils, all right?
About it and looking at the benefits that it can do for a person.
So do you have sort of this objective to expand the capabilities or services attached to this, or to kind of market this as a product, or is it really just kind of adding convenience for people there?
We did this honestly initially just for fun because that's what a technology company does.
Look, I just noticed this word here as well. Now, this is probably, even if it's a company's name or it's just abbreviated for something, FANG. What are fangs? Like a snake bite, right? Okay, this is like that snake bite. To see it.
Kind of adding convenience for people there.
You gotta look at keywords they put behind. There's a, look at everything. Nothing is by chance.
We did this honestly initially just for fun because that's what a technology company does. And often when you start with something, you end with something completely different. And that's the case here. We started with a simple little chip, and now it's evolved into a whole nother business, which we're in development right now of an actual chip that will be powered by the human body, the heat, and it'll have GPS tracking capabilities along with voice recognition.
10 seconds. How easy is it to get out?
Basically, you just puncture your hand with a needle and you can push it right out the same hole.
That's what they say. Okay, that is that easy to take out. All right, but you won't be able to take it out. They show in movies pushing it out. You see Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, pulling out of his nose. They're going to show that. But what length do they have to go through to get it out of their body? You think surgeons are going to be available on the street? Oh, take it out, take it out, take it out. Okay, who's going to be qualified to do that? You hit the wrong blood vessel, you'll die. So, and even the surgeons and doctors in that time, when that time comes, they'll all be C-hipped as well. And you think they're going to go against the powers that be and their six-figure salaries? They want to hold on to what they got. But,
back with SpaceX, but now he's taking on what may be the real final frontier.
We can do a full brain,
which is successful now. And this is from, remember, 2017. So he's been successful in the last year or so in these brain C-hips. This Edomite here.
machine interface.
Combining man and machine with a new technology dubbed
Bionic
Neuralink,
woman, $6
which will
million
allow
man.
data to be transmitted between humans and computers. Here's how it works. An array of tiny threads, only a tenth as big as a human hair, embedded with thousands of electrodes, is inserted into the brain by a robotic device. The threads are connected to a chip that transmits back and forth to an external receiver.
The interface to the chip is wireless, so you have no wires poking out of your head. Very, very important. So it's basically Bluetooth to your phone.
Musk says Neuralink may help the human brain cure diseases and even reverse paralysis. Eventually, it could be used to connect with external devices.
With a high bandwidth brain machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride, and we can effectively have the option of merging with AI. And this is extremely important.
Neuralink
and AI is being pushed heavy right now, right? Really heavy right now as we're approaching 2026.
Claims the devices have been successfully implanted in rats and at least one monkey who is able to control a computer with its brain. The company hopes to implant the first Neuralink into a human patient by the end of the year. Analysts worry this technology could have unforeseen negative impacts.
We aren't aware yet that the technology has gone in reverse, meaning that you can use some sort of external force to implant thought. You can use some sort of external force gone in reverse.
What's this guy's name? Rich Tehrani, CEO and Group Editor-in-Chief, Technology Marketing Corporation. Yeah, more than likely an Elamite, Tehran. I mean, it could be Middle Eastern or so-called Middle Eastern or Elam, Iranian or Persian.
Reverse, meaning that you can use some sort of external force to implant thoughts or something else inside of the brain. There are, like with anything else, there are downsides. Think about a hacker getting into a brain interface. That's one. Think about government control of people's brains, controlling what they think. Things like that are obviously a concern.
From Star Wars to the Terminator, science fiction has long dreamt of merging humans with technology. But with rapidly evolving robots and artificial intelligence,
hello, everyone. I'm an English artificial intelligence anchor.
What was once fiction is quickly becoming fact. As this technology evolves, the question may be, can we merge man and machine without losing some of our humanity? Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.
Yeah, they chose him last as well, with his last name Spellman, being a small hatter and all. Spellman, casting spells, right? Revelation 13, 16 to 18. Okay, now this is what they want to do to everybody. And then the Lord let us know, and the men of the Lord, the men of great millstone, have been saying this. All right, but you guys are not taking heed. Now, you want to make fun of it. You want to put a potato chip on your hand and make jokes of it. You want to say that you don't need to know what the chip, what the mark of the beast is. As long as your heart is right. But the heart is deceitful. But the heart is deceitful. Then Lil Bow Wow say that. The guy from what's that guy? The young cat who teaches. All right. Everybody calls him Lil Bow Wow because he does. He kind of he does. Kind of looks like him, I guess. Right? All right. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know. All right. Okay. You need to know what it is. All right. If you want to get to a certain location, don't you need to know the directions? So why would you not need to know what it is? Okay. Now, if you're going to eat some meat, wouldn't you need to know what it is? Oh, then you're going to think that, I don't eat pork. But it's okay. As long as your heart is right. So I'm just going to assume in my mind, oh, that's pork. I'm going to assume, so that's Satan there. I'm going to assume in my mind that's chicken, but that's really pork. So you need to know what it is. All right? I hope you got the analogy there, right? So you need to know what the mark of the beast is. All right? So you can avoid it. Revelation 13, 16 to 18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's self-explanatory. Okay, every facet of life, every kind of person, small, great, rich, poor, your Eddie Murphys, your Trumps, all right, to your bum on the street, poor, small and great, your regular Joe six-pack cracker, to your Trump type cracker, right? Free and bond, people that are so-called walking around outside, they can open their front door. People that are on lockdown, they might even say to prisoners, oh, if you want to do your prison sentence quickly, take the C-hip and you can just be on house arrest. And I've also seen a video, or I made a video a while back on where you can serve out a 10-year sentence and it's literally seconds, and it feels like you served a 10-year sentence, but it's been seconds and you're still a young man, and they put that chip in you. I believe it was something like that, and you can serve your sentence that way. All right. So they've got all types of technology out there. They're only going to let you know about what they have. I mean, they're only going to give you, spoon feed you what you want to hear. But they've got technology way vaster. All right. Because most of those World War II scientists from Germany, right? Because Teman, okay, all right, amongst the Edomites, the Temanites, all right, because there's little sub tribes amongst Esau, like Amalek, the small hat, as being the head one, right? They're the most intelligent. That's why you got the baddest cars coming out of Germany, Mercedes, Beamers, and all that, so forth and so on. Okay, those scientists from World War II were taken to the States. All right, so they got definitely more vast, more. The Iron Man suits, for example, they might show you now are some bullshit, sort of like shit that'll be out from in the 80s or whatever, right? But they've got the real Iron Man suits. That Tony Stark shit ain't no joke. They got it. Okay, and they're gonna bring it out when they wanna, when the world is literally on a lockdown. And he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. How are you gonna buy and sell? Beep, beep, beep. You're gonna be scanning away, right? All right. And the mark of the beast is not worshipping Caesar Borgia, even though you shouldn't be doing that anyway, or the fake ass cracker Jeebus, okay? It's not that, and it's not dealing with so-called white women or heathen women. And you can have a white woman or a so-called white woman or a so-called heathen or a heathen woman, as long as you don't follow her doctrine, because her job, because the male and female dynamic is simple. All right, she's a single attractive woman. Jake likes her. You're going to get the 1-2 in with her, and maybe have the odd glass of wine or beer with a glass of wine with her, or strong drink. That's about it. That's as far as it goes with a concubine. All right, might share a few laughs, but she's a concubine. You don't follow her bullshit doctrine. All right, it's got nothing to do with dealing with women of other nations. It is a literal mark that goes into your flesh. You get penetrated. Okay, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And the word mark there, Revelation 13:16, is charagma, which is penetration or etching or a badge of servitude into the flesh. All right, and what do? They penetrate the flesh. And that no man might buy, or if that's when you go to the Blue Letter Bible, you'll go to the word charagma, which is a Greek, okay, for the word mark, which is etching or penetration into the flesh. And that no man, and by the way, Esau is changing words and taking words out of certain definitions as well, okay, because they created Google and all that shit, and new dictionaries and Newspeak and all that. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is 666. Okay? So remember, that video I just played is from 2017. Everything that they talked about, Elon Musk, this, that, and the third, and the advancement of this technology, we're coming into that time right now. Okay, we're coming into that time right now. 2026 is going to probably literally go off with a bang, but we'll see how the Lord does it. All right, Lord willing, 2026 is a year. His Majesty Yahweh Shai returns. World War III, okay, because prior to World War III going off, this Revelation 13:16 has to come to fruition as well. All right, it's kind of possibly more than likely happen simultaneously, but we'll see how the Lord does it. All right, it's only a couple more prophecies to go, man, before His Majesty Yahweh Shai returns. All right, so all praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be unto Abanoah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash, Wathabad Babab, Kwame Ashrada,